Cristiano Ronaldo was right about Manchester United's rotten core.
I say this 1 year and a half ago, and I will continue to say, the problem is not the coaches. It's like, I'm always give this example, it's like the Aquarius. If you have the fishing inside and he's sick, and you take him out, and you fix the problem, and if you put it again in Aquarius, they will be sick again. And this is the problem of Manchester United, is the same. The problem is not only the coach, it's much more than that.
And do you think that is still the case at Old Trafford?
100%. If I will be the owner of the club, I will make the things clear and adjust.
They need to rebuild everything, in my opinion. The coach, they say they cannot compete to win the league and Champions League. A Manchester United coach, you cannot say that you're not going to fight to win the league or Champions League. You have to be. This is why I say, but this club needs time to rebuild, because it's still one of the best clubs in the world, but they need to change, and they understand that it's the only way. They don't depend only of the talents. It's more than that. It's all club, all, not only players, club, everything as a united, you know. They have to rebuild from the bottom. If not, they cannot compete. It will be impossible. I mean, Champions League or Europa League or Premier League, difficult, in my opinion. And I wish that I'm wrong. I wish, but will be nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym, even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely persons. They stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. I thought I will see different things, different, as I mentioned before, technology, infrastructure, but unfortunately we see many things that I'm used to see when I was 20, 21, 23, so surprised me a lot.
Today, the world is watching that prophecy unfold in real time. This isn't about one game, one manager, or one player. It's about a decade-long decay. And the man they exiled was the only one who saw it all coming. They called him a traitor, a prima donna, an ego out of control.
Yes, I feel betrayed, and I felt that some people that don't want me here, not only this year, but last year too.
But what if the man Manchester United threw out was the only one brave enough to tell them the truth? What if the controversy that ended his time at the club was not an act of disloyalty, but an act of brutal, unvarnished honesty? 2 years ago, in a television interview that shook the football world, Cristiano Ronaldo gave a public warning about the rotten core of Manchester United. Today, the world is watching that prophecy unfold in real time. This isn't about one game, one manager, or one player. It's about a decade-long decay, and the man they exiled was the only one who saw it all coming. To understand the full story, we must go back to the beginning of the dream. August 27, 2021. The world of football stood still. A legend was coming home. The prodigal son, Cristiano Ronaldo, was returning to the place where he became a global superstar. The man who wore the number 7, the man who brought us so many unforgettable memories, was back at Old Trafford. Fans cried, banners were raised, and for a moment, it felt like Manchester United was finally going to get back to the top. This wasn't just a transfer, it was a statement. It was a beacon of hope for a club that had lost its way.
Cristiano Ronaldo has made a sensational return to Manchester United. Goodness me, this has happened so quickly. What have Manchester United said now?
Well, look, they've announced just in the last few minutes that they have re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. I think the message they put up on social media has broken the internet. This is incredible news for Manchester United. I think it's probably the best signing Manchester United have made since the last time they signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Manchester United fans absolutely buzzing at the moment.
Ronaldo did what he was brought in to do. He scored goals. He defied his age, carrying an underperforming team on his back. He was the club's top scorer that season, with 24 goals in all competitions, including sensational hat tricks that rolled back the years. On the surface, it looked like a match made in heaven. The fairy tale seemed complete, but behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. A story of a broken culture, a lack of ambition, and a truth that the world refused to believe. The dream turned sour. Results didn't improve. Managers came and went. And the club's struggles continued. It was a chaotic season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked. An interim manager in Ralf Rangnick was brought in, and the dressing room became a place of whispers and discontent. Then, in November 2022, everything changed. In an explosive interview with Piers Morgan, Ronaldo didn't just criticize a coach. He diagnosed a disease at the very heart of the club. He said he felt betrayed. He explained that he had no respect for the manager, Erik ten Hag, because he didn't feel respect in return. Ronaldo found himself marginalized, benched, and even publicly disciplined. The tensions culminated in a shocking incident where he refused to come on as a late substitute against Tottenham, a moment that led to him being ostracized from the first team. Ronaldo stated in his explosive interview with Piers Morgan that he felt disrespected, believing Ten Hag's actions were deliberate attempts to humiliate a legend. This wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a fundamental disagreement on the treatment of a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner.
But you don't hold on to Ronaldo to sit on the bench. He's one of the greatest players ever. It's just going to get uglier as the season goes on. Okay, Ronaldo's motivated with the World Cup coming up, and you hope. But if he's sitting on the bench for Man United week in, week out, it's not good.
I wouldn't bring him in because we are 4-0 down, out of respect for Cristiano, for his big career.
Cristiano Ronaldo has voiced his opinion on Manchester United to Rio Ferdinand, and one of the things that he said was, you can't say that you can't win the Premier League at Manchester United. What is your view of that, and can Manchester United win the Premier League?
He said that Manchester United can't win the Premier League.
He said that you...
No, he said this. If you read the article very well. So he's far away from Saudi, or far away from Manchester. So everyone can have, and is entitled to have an opinion. It's okay.
But the most damning words were not about the people, but the place itself. The progress was zero, he declared. Since Sir Alex left, I saw no evolution in the club. Nothing had changed. He described a club stuck in the past, a place where the infrastructure he remembered from his first spell was still the same. He spoke of how the club was more focused on commercial and marketing success than on sporting excellence, a damning indictment of the Glazer ownership that had burdened the club with debt for years. The world was quick to dismiss him. Fans turned on him, former players called him a crybaby, and the media painted him as an ego-driven diva throwing his toys out of the pram. He was seen as a villain, a disruptive influence who was past his prime. His contract was terminated, and he left the club he loved in disgrace, his reputation seemingly in tatters. But as the seasons wore on, the painful truth began to emerge. The club he warned us about was exactly the club they became. The evidence of a decade of decay became impossible to ignore. He said the club's infrastructure was dated, and we saw it with our own eyes. Leaks in the roof of Old Trafford during a rainstorm, a cascade of water pouring down the stands and into the dressing rooms, becoming a global laughingstock. It was a stark visual metaphor for the decay at the heart of the institution. A lack of investment in training facilities, a stadium in a state of disrepair, these were not just minor flaws. They were symbols of an ownership that prioritized financial gain over foundational stability. He said the Glazers didn't care, a statement that has resonated with the fan base for years. The numbers don't lie. Since their leveraged buyout in 2005, the family has reportedly drained over £1 billion from the club in interest payments, bank charges, and dividends, all while saddling the club with massive debt. This is money that could have been used to redevelop the stadium, buy top-tier talent, and build a world-class footballing structure. Instead, the club's on-field fortunes mirrored their owner's lack of genuine footballing ambition. He said the club was a marketing club. We saw that too. They prioritized sponsorships with obscure brands and social media presence over a coherent football strategy. The transfer policy became a chaotic merry-go-round, with expensive flops and mismatched players parachuted into a system that didn't exist. The club lacked a director of football for years, a key role in modern football that ensures long-term vision. The managers who came and went from David Moyes and Louis van Gaal to Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were each given a different, often contradictory, mandate, each with an incomplete vision and not enough time to implement it. Ronaldo's words about zero evolution ring truer than ever when you look at the revolving door of coaches. He wasn't the problem. He was the solution for a broken system, and when he spoke out about that system's flaws, they cast him out. His 24 goals, his hat tricks, his desperate attempts to motivate a team that lacked hunger and ambition were all dismissed in favor of a narrative that blamed him for the club's failures. Today, the dust has settled. Ronaldo is gone, the managers continue to struggle, and the team is in a constant state of flux. The team is still losing to smaller clubs, still looking disjointed, and still lacking the resilience that defined the club for so long. Every new manager, every new player, and every new tactical system seems to fail for the same reasons. The problem isn't the man on the touchline or the player on the pitch. It's the rot at the core. The club's issues are not tactical, they are systemic. We look back on that interview now, not as an act of arrogance, but as a prophecy. A man who saw the truth, spoke the truth, and was punished for it. He warned us about a club that was fundamentally broken, a club where ambition had been replaced by commercialism. Nobody listened, and now, the entire football world is watching as the words of Cristiano Ronaldo ring true, louder than ever. The tragedy is not that he was wrong, but that he was right all along.